And these. I feel like I'm going to turn it this way a little bit. So you're facing me like that. There. And then I can see both of you a little bit better. If I put this here, then I can see if the words are there. Maybe. There, I can a little bit see words. So, are any of you like me where you make a glass of tea and whenever you get to it, it's freaking cold? I hardly ever am sitting and having a nice warm tea. That's okay. So, those are the elastics. I'm going to get a handle of. And they're all see-through, so because everything's white, I lose them easily. But got them there. It smells so good here. So now I'm going to make some sweetgrass. So sweetgrass is braided. Do I need to do that? And it's the three braids, the three strands that you braid together. Braid is just the name of twisting things into one piece. It's three pieces going together into making something, and usually done with your hair. But this is sweetgrass, and the grass is very long, and it grows near damp areas like where rivers are and ponds, and it's very high, and it in the sun it kind of glimmers differently than regular grass. And they tie it in three strands because they represent everything in indigenous culture. We don't do anything for just the heck of it. We're very conscious and aware of everything that we do, so we make sure that we understand the reasoning why we do things. And when you put intent, because everything about consciousness and spirituality is about intention, what your intentions are, and focusing your mind on what you intend to do. Because if you're not paying attention and working for good, then everyone else can use you and you're working for bad, because the ones that are working for bad are looking for someone that's not paying attention. They're looking for someone distracted, someone uneducated, someone unaware, someone injured. All of these things are what people are looking for. The bad guys, they're looking for that. So we have to be conscious about everything that we do. And when we're conscious, we are choosing to do the work of creator, which means minimizing pain and suffering by our hands and stopping it if someone else is causing harm. So braiding is really easy. You have three strands. Usually this is attached to the scalp. So you'll take a bunch of hair and then you'll divide it into three. You try to get it three equal so you don't have one thin bunch of hair and some fat ones. You want them the same size. And you're going to think of the center one as the center one, I guess. And you're going to take your right and you're going to go over the center. Wait, I'm trying to do it backwards for you. You're going to take your right and you're going to go in the middle. Then you're going to take your left and you're going to go in the middle. Then you're going to take the right. You're going to go in the middle, left in the middle, right in the middle. And then and see, it just makes a loose this. So braiding's very easy. But I think I'm going to double it over. Okay, and since this is already that, I'll go like this. How does this work? How does this work? 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think this was a good idea, but I don't think it was an easy idea. Okay, wait a second. Oh, wow, this is nice. Oh, wait. This is really nice. This is this is actually a very good practice for anybody is braiding something like this because you're moving your fingers. We don't use our fingers as much as we should. Look at that. Okay, I put my elastic on it. Oh, and I can trim it. Hold on. Maybe I should make it continue a bit. Right to the end, right to the end. Okay, so now cut off this. Okay, like this. Making a sweet grass spray. I'm just figuring out how I'm going to put this raffia on there. Or strip down the side. Like that. Ooh, that's a good idea. Would you buy a bottle of sweetgrass spray with a piece of raffia braided, glued to the bottle? Is that kind of weird? I don't know. Trying to make it so you can see better. There, see? This is raffia that I just braided. I'm trying to figure out how to put it on my sweetgrass spray bottle. It's braided, see? Is that weird to glue it on the bottle like that? I don't know what to do. Anyways, I'm going to be. So the best way to do this is just to make one big long braid, then cut it, and then that's what I think, anyways. How do I do that? That's a big one. Like a rope of it. Yeah, I might as well just do one big rope. Okay. Today's pretty crazy. I got invited to go to a church, which I'm not really big on churches because I'm not religious. But I met Jesus more than once. And so I know he's real, and they tell me that I'm supposed to go visit the churches because the people are still looking for the same thing and it has nothing to do with, darn it, I didn't need to cut those, I don't think. So anyways, I went to church and I was an hour early because we turned the time back and I took the bus down because like, well, in the middle of nowhere, no coffee or anything nearby. So I was like, well, I guess what I will do is, why is this hard to get even? I'll go for a walk for an hour. And then I saw that there was a AA meeting. So I was like, perfect. I was like, I don't drink alcohol. This is great for me. And so I went there and I was a little bit late because I was at the church at 10 and things started at 9. So I made it there. And then I think maybe if I cut this. I don't know if I need to. Whatever. So everyone stared at me when I walked in, and of course I'm wearing all white, and everyone in there is wearing black. I don't know what it is with Alberta. I don't know if it's just my city or what, but everyone wears black. And so it makes me stand out like a sore thumb. But anyways, I didn't have the attention taken off on me or put on me for too long, because immediately after that, and two other people came in that were intoxicated to an AA meeting, which is amazing. And I'm sure that some people were probably irritated, but I was so proud of them, because that's exactly where they need to be. And for them to walk in while intoxicated takes a lot of courage, because they're more courageous when they're drinking than they are sober. So imagine what it took for them to come there. And the girl fell when she was coming in. And so she ran crying to the bathroom because she was so embarrassed. She just wanted to come sit because she was intoxicated, and she went to a church with the other man who's intoxicated, and the other man took a sip of his bottle in the church. So they got yelled at, or I don't know, yelled at or disciplined in the church, and said this isn't a place for it. So she was very upset, and it drove her to take him and said, let's go to AA. And so she went to AA and then wiped out coming in, and then ran to the bathroom and wouldn't come out. So I was there, and it was amazing because there was like, trying to get someone that I didn't know to come in and help me. And two women came in, but they immediately started kind of lecturing her or something, because immediately what happened was I was observing the two girls were saying something to the other one, and she snarled at them, don't give me those 12 steps and whatever. I've been to rehab twice. And I realized, okay, so they're just, the people that were just helping, saying what they're indoctrinated to say. And so this is the thing. People that have trauma, they know when you're just repeating what you're told and you aren't using compassion. Because if you aren't using compassion, then your heart's not open, not fully and completely. So it was amazing that those two women came in. Absolutely, it's amazing that they came in. But what they were saying wasn't helpful. They were trying to tell her the 12-step things, but I don't even know them, because I have been to a couple AA meetings, because I did stop drinking alcohol, and I did have an issue. And this is what we were sitting. I eventually just sat in the stall. The other ones left, and then I left her too for a few minutes, and then came back in, and she was in the stall. So I just sat in another one because I didn't want to stand there, and so I sat on the toilet in the stall while she was in the other one, and we talked a little bit, and it was amazing, and she really needed it, and that's how I know I was meant to be there. And so she gave me this beautiful leather. I don't even know where it is. We'll put it over there. A leather bound book with a crystal embedded in the front of it. She said that she's been meaning to give it to me, and she just hasn't seen me. I was like, okay, well, I don't know if she's telling the truth or not, but wow, she's giving this. I'm like, are you sure? Seriously? And she's like, yes, it's yours. And I was like, what? Like, it's beautiful. And what's amazing is right after I talked to her, a lady came up to me and said, hey, you gave me sage. And do you remember? And I said, oh my gosh, that was like a year ago. And she goes, I think it was 2 years ago or something like that. And I was like, yeah, that's amazing. I said, how are you doing? And she goes, will you pray for me? I was like, what? She's like, will you pray for me? And people keep saying this to me. And I do go do it, but I don't know what it is. It's like a cognitive dissonance where people are asking me to do something and I'm repelled by it, because it's hard enough, and it's like I'm trying to survive on my own. Now I gotta have to help everybody else. And I know, yes, that's what their purpose is. They lifted me out of pain and suffering so that I can lead the way out. But I'm doing a lot of the leg work, is what I feel like it. Because everyone says, when I say I'm helping heal everybody, they're like, you can't heal, only Jesus can heal. Well, apparently I can, because when I do something to them and they go, oh my God, thank you so much, then I actually did do something. So Jesus is glorious, and you can't be saved to go to heaven without him, because he helps you get rid of your guilt and your shame, the ones that we feel for our own things that we've done or that people have done. We have guilt and shame. And so it's Jesus Christ that cleanses us from the guilt and the shame, so that we can pass through the film without any impurities and be be pure with God again. So Jesus Christ is a filtration system. Jesus Christ is Brita. It's weird how I get these weird analogies. I remember when I first started getting messages from Creator, and and the Ascended Masters, they were trying to explain to me that when I'm teaching, because I was just trying to teach people, and they were like, preaching, or lecturing, quit lecturing. That's what my kids would always say. So if you use stories and your own life experience, then what happens is other people grab the message easier because they make it imagination. Use their imagination instead of just trying to remember numbers and ideas. They now have a story that goes with it. And so that makes it easier to understand and retain, because you're not forcing just information at them. You're giving it something in, wow, I don't even know how to explain that. It's giving some meat. I don't want to use that word. No. It's giving texture. I don't know what the word is. But anyways, you get the gist. You like my glasses? Thank you. I think we got them at the thrift store. I don't have prescription because I sat on them. It wasn't very good. And it was too much money. I was like, wow, which reminds me, I just got my first bus pass ever, and I bought it on Friday, and it was October 31st, so I didn't get to use it then. I didn't go anywhere yesterday, and I used it today to go to church and everything. And then on my way home, I lost it. But it's whatever. But still, I'm just a little upset at me for that. Because if my kids would have did that, I would have probably been like, are you serious? And looking back, how I would treat it now is that it's just wasn't on purpose. Wasn't on purpose. So that's how we have to think of everything. So for my braiding, remember, I'm going to be just taking 6 strands and folding it in the half point, and then I'm just going to, I don't want to knot at the end of it, so I'm just going to twist the 6 together, 3 and 3, and then go and separate one of each for 3 different sections, so it looks like this. Okay, actually this is good. Okay, hold on, and twist them until they're just held still, and then you just go right in the middle, left in the middle, right in the middle, left in the middle. And it will start looking nice. Oh, maybe I should wrap it around the thing and then braid it. That makes sense. Then I don't have to tie it. I can just wrap it around. Okay, let's undo this. Try that again. Fine. How do you work that? I don't have to have it tied that way then. I just have to go like this. Let's just move this down. Just make them even because I smoothed it. Okay, so now I just go like this and tie it. Oh wait, I was gonna think about putting crystals in it. What do you think about if I put crystals in there? I'll show you, like, it's 100 mils, 3.38. It's sweet grass. And it smells amazing. Do you think that it would be great to have crystals in it? I have lots like this. I was gonna put like a whole bunch. Like this is lapis lazuli. So they are, so what do you think? Yeah, you think it's a good idea to put them in? What one should I put in? Opal. Where's my phone? I'm gonna see what. I don't know all the qualities of these. I'm definitely gonna put them in though. But what I do with my phone? Oh, it's right there. Okay. Let's look. Ooh, gray moonstone. Obsidian. Oh. What would be the best thing? Thank you for watching. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, there's some really pretty. Ooh, this one's nice. Green agate or agate. I don't know what it is. Agate or agate. Cancel. Oops, disconnect. Let's find out what the qualities of green agate is. Sorry, I'm not really teaching lots at the moment, but I'm just trying stuff. Okay. Calms the mind, reduces stress and anxiety, working through challenges, encourages inner strength and decision making, assists in releasing old traumas and emotional wounds. It's for the heart chakra, grounding and protection, keeps energy balanced and anchored, encourages harmony with the natural world and abundance, promotes clarity and insight during meditation. So stabilizes motions, courage and patience. Okay, so this is great. I'm gonna use this one, green agate. And yellow agate. Yellow agate is self-esteem and confidence, optimism and joy. Decision making and organization. Stress relief, solar plexus is grounding and protection. It helps manifesting and supports clarity and meditations. Okay, courage and joy. I like it. Is there another one that I like in here? Red agate. I don't know what red one does. Motivation and willpower. Wow, this is passion and vitality and emotional stability. It grounds your emotion and reduces fear and anxiety. This is the root chakra and stimulates life force energy. It helps you overcome personal challenges. Wow, that's great. Let's see what else I got in here. Whoa. That it? Let's see. Oh. Is there a blue one? Soda light. Oh wow, there's one's called Cat's Eye. Ooh, white agate. Oops, not white. White. White agate. Balances and harmony for healing and transitioning. It's your crown and third eye. It promotes reflection and inner peace. And it cleanses, it clears stagnant energy in your aura or your space. It keeps you calm. Definitely, we're going to use that one. Ooh, there's one called moss agate. Moss agate. I'll put a little bit of one of each. Oh, with nature. It's for patience and perseverance, confidence and optimism, heart chakra, abundance and growth. Wow, they all have a lot of benefits. So, and there's blue agate and red blue agate. Blue agate is for communication. It's the throat chakra. Releases past trauma and emotional blocks, supports intuition and higher guidance. It calms your energy and your personal energy fields. Wow, that one's really important too. And then what was the other one? Southern red. Vitality enhancing. It gets your motivation, willpower, courage and strength, passion and vitality. Okay. So I think I'm going to put one of those. That's a lot, but I like all the agates since there's a lot of them. I put those in my packages. Then, any other one? Wow, there's so many. Okay, next. Okay, so this is cool. So should I just dump them out? Let's put one of each. Whoa. I got to make sure they're big pieces so they don't get clogging up the things. So I think this is going to be really cute. Whoa. Very nice. So today was really cool. Pieces are so big you can't even get them out. These are really cool. Oops. Oopsies. Oh, I should probably put them in front of each one so that I don't confuse them, because a lot of them are similar colors. Ooh. It's really cool. Did you know that every rock, everything, and every part of everything has a consciousness and an awareness that's different than everything else, that's aware that it's separate and it's observing? Everything and every part of everything is observing us right now. That's why we cannot get away with anything. Everything's being recorded, and they all have a permanent recording. They have a permanent memory, just like we do. Okay. And the last one. Okay. I don't think all these are going to fit in some of these. We'll find out. All right. 1, 2. There. Ooh, that's nice because it has all the different colors. Very nice. So I already cleansed and blessed the liquids and the bottles. I didn't do these, but I've already cleansed them before. So that's good. Now, yeah, so I will be putting these on mark. These are sweetgrass sprays. because not everyone has the ability to light sweet grass in their home because of their renting or whatever. So this is a way that they can use the sweet grass because it's a cleanser, a calm or of your mind, and it removes negative thoughts. So sweetgrass is a tool for First Nations, and that's our culture. That's why we use it. And so we encourage everyone to use it because it will help us navigate life easier because it takes off the attachments that others are thinking about you. Like it breaks it off. So when you use it, it immediately makes you feel more relaxed because it breaks off everyone feeding off of your energy. When they think about you negatively or wish something bad about you, it's feeding you negative energy. It's giving you poison and it affects you. And that's why sometimes we're really tired or really sad and we don't know why, because other people are wishing unwell on us. And you might think, I don't have any enemies. Yeah, everybody has enemies, whether you like it or not. If you're a woman, that means that there's at least one man out there that wants to destroy you. But there's groups of men that do not like women. And then if you're brown, there's going to be lots of people that are not brown that want to eliminate, and there's going to be people that want the other color, and it doesn't matter. There's people that don't like you because you remind them of somebody else. So no matter what, you're going to have enemies, and your enemies are always going to be thinking negative things about you instead of positive. So they're going to be giving you bad vibes. As soon as they think about you negatively, they are sending you bad vibes. So this is one of the reasons that we get so anxious and upset. There's many reasons why, but that's one of them. Another is that we are enduring great amounts of pain and suffering at the hands of others, and then we don't have justice. We're told, don't do it. We're going to be in control of the justice. And so there's a third party that says you can't defend yourself from people that steal from you or abuse you, whatever. So we don't have the ability to fight back. So that makes us depressed because that means someone's taking advantage of us, and we have to sit here and accept it because nothing is done about it. We're not allowed to do anything. We're not allowed to get our family to go kick their butts or whatever. So, and then as a woman, if you get in a relationship, or even the patriarchy, just the patriarchy itself, women are mistreated, used and abused, and enslaved into a system where we have to work so hard to cater to not women. And we get used and mistreated and abused, and then we have to sit there and take it. And then the people that abuse us walk around like kings, walking around flaunting all of the abusive things that they've done to us, and we have to stand here and take it and pretend it doesn't bother us. And it's eating us alive. So if you have depression, it's highly likely that you've been taken advantage of and you don't have ability to use your voice, and you feel that you've been used and abused, and that's eating you alive, and that causes you depression. Because when someone's mean to you, they're taking away your will to live. They're trying to hurt you. They're spraying Roundup on your spirit by beating you up and then leaving. And now you're like afraid of this, afraid of that, triggered by this, and you can't be completely at ease anymore. So that's taking your relaxation, it's taking your life force energy. So the sooner you realize that, the sooner you're going to be like realizing that a lot of your friends are not your friends. Sucks. You need to have boundaries. Ooh, that's a pretty one. I really like the yellow ones. Which is funny because I've never really liked the color yellow. Sorry, yellow. But now I really like the color yellow. I also did not like the color orange until I got my birth certificate and then started learning about Orange Shirt Day. And now I'm like, oh, now I'm liking orange. But I used to not like it. I didn't like brown. I didn't like orange because I didn't want to be brown. And yeah, because people used to say mean things. Remember, I was only with white, and they would say things about my color. Saying how the color of poo and stuff like that. But whatevs. Now I'm a big girl. It doesn't hurt my feelings. Like, yeah, so I am. I'm also the same color of peanuts and the dirt. So whatevs. It's funny though, our insecurities can make us be so insecure, unhappy about everything. So Buddhism is not a religion. There's so many people that think it is. I also thought that it was, but it's not. It's not a religion. It's actually a psychology of the mind, and it teaches you how we cause our own pain and suffering. And you might think, how do we cause our own pain and suffering? Because it's our mind that thinks things that cause our own pain and suffering. For example, someone passes away, and if because we don't want to accept it, it causes us more pain and suffering. And so, in addition, if we lose our wallet, then we become grouchy and we are causing endless pain and suffering to ourselves and a whole bunch of other people that are around us. And you see, our mind took something that happened and made us turn into a monster to everybody. But then guess what? Your wallet was in your jacket pocket the whole time. So now you just blew up at everybody and destroyed the peace because of something that wasn't even true. So things that are bad, or things that not even are bad, just happen, can cause us to make a reaction that is negative, and things that don't happen can cause us to make a reaction. So humans are in control of how much pain and suffering they inflict on the world around them. And so consciousness is the awareness of the effect that you have against others and others have against you and each other and yourself. You against you and yourself and others. You against yourself and others, and how others affect themselves, each other, and you. Whatever. I don't know. Hard for me to multitask. So I'm gonna put two of those blue ones in there because they're little. I really like how this looks. It smells good. Anywho, we are in control of the choices that we make and how much pain and suffering we inflict on ourselves and others. Consciousness is the awareness of how you impact others as well as you impact yourself, because you impact yourself. You're choosing to think a certain way is impacting how you react and interact as day to day. If you choose to be miserable and negative, then and pout and be grouchy, then you're going to be choosing to stay at home and do nothing instead of being positive and going out and living your life. So your attitude is reflected in your life. So your attitude is impacting how your reality is. So you need to make sure that your attitude reflects the reality that you want. There's a saying, fake it till you make it. Means whatever you want to do, start acting like it now, because you are creating everything. Whatever you're doing right now is creating your reality. So whatever you want, you have to start doing it. As soon as you start doing it, it'll start going into action. You can't just expect it. You can't be sitting there going, oh, I'm going to be in shape. I'm getting skinny. I'm getting skinny. And you do nothing. But then nothing's going to happen. You have to actually make a difference. You've got to put into action the life that you want. You've got to start living and behaving the way that you are aimed to be. And when you do that, you're going to become what you're aiming to be. You're creating yourself. So whatever you choose is creating yourself. So there's people could say no you can't, but there is no you can't, because that's just whatever you're doing is creating your reality. So just tweak it to your benefit. Stop sabotaging yourself, because that's what we're doing. We're sabotaging ourselves. Life is a candy store of pain and suffering. meaning we have every way that we can sin possibly and harm ourselves and others available to us just out in day-to-day living. And so you get to choose which pain and suffering you're going to add to your life. So if you choose, I'm going to go buy cigarettes every day, then guess what? You're creating a reality with tongue cancer or lung cancer, whatever. If you're going to go and use perfume every day, you're creating a reality where those ingredients, whatever the side effects are, that's your reality. If you have, because there's a lot of very, very expensive perfumes that we're giving to our children, and the side effects cause serotonin increase, which means it makes it really happy, but in the same medicine, or in the same perfume, it has a chemical that wants you to end yourself. We don't want to do that. Why would so you were wondering why our children are moody, why our girls are moody. It's because they're getting diagnosed as bipolar and all this, but the truth is there's chemicals in all of these beauty products, especially the sprays, that are impacting the way that we behave from moment to moment. So in particular, any perfumes that has a person riding on a horse playing sports, look at the side effects of those ingredients of that perfume for women. Got a tickle in my throat from talking so much. Okay. We're doing great. It looks actually really nice. What would really be cool is if I got a whole bunch of these stones and then just had the 4 medicine wheel colors. Black and white and red and yellow. That might look nicer, actually. Fine, putting the green ones away. And so I'm going to try that. Nah, let's just do this. Easier to do. It's already out. Just need bigger stones. Okay. So yeah, the girl today, it was amazing. She actually came in and sat at the AA meeting with us, and it was powerful. She came in with another man, and they were both intoxicated. He had a big bottle with him. I don't know what happened. And that man was actually had a heart attack on the road and was at the hospital. And I actually saw him a couple days ago. So we just got out of the hospital. So that's good. They went to the hospital, went to an AA meeting. Darn it, I lost the yellow. Okay, never mind. I'll get it later. So, let's see. What is this called again? Agate. Why is that one in there and it's black? Put it in there anyways. Black, and I'll do that. Black and yellow and red and white. Look, I have it there. Ooh, that looks nice. It has all the colors of the medicine wheel. Where's this one? These. Look at that. Very nice. I like it. All right. Let's do it again. Don't have another black. Aha. Tea citrine. Oh, obsidian. That's a gooder. Obsidian is a gooder. It's a protection. So we'll put a little bit of those in. As you can see, I change my mind from moment to moment. That's because I'm a Libra, I think. Which is going to make me a great leader because Libras weigh everything. We're about justice. And we're fair. Red and white. It smells delightful. Yellow, black, red, a bigger one, and white. Much faster. Looks better with bigger pieces. Black and red and yellow. That's not really yellow. White. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So I teach emotional intelligence. I teach people emotional intelligence is the ability to regulate your emotions and understand the emotions of yourself and others. And so most of us don't even know how to express our emotions, so that lacks a lot of emotional intelligence. It doesn't mean that they're not smart. It means that they aren't aware of their intelligence and they aren't able to communicate it properly. So I teach this, and this is going to eliminate pain and suffering, because communication is very important and our existence is about emotions. So we have to be able to know how to express them in order to be happy. Because we are communal beings, and that means if people don't understand us, then we don't feel understood, and that also feeds our depression. We get depressed from that. That's cool. It's a weird one. Throw it in there. Okay, that looks like orange. Okay, well, whatever. Whatever. So, my house smells really nice. Yeah, I just moved in. My friend that lived across the way, she has 2 kids, and she's moved from a 2-bedroom to a 3-bedroom, and it was from an apartment to a townhome, and it's ever nice. It just got refinished. Wait. It just got refinished and it looks beautiful. It's all the same as mine, like white marble. So she's happy. She's got 2 kids. So, and she's a very kind lady. All right, let's move back on to Pile of Each. Oh, I don't know what's going to happen if. And one last one, and then I can work on my braid. Right. A reminder that you need to be moving your body. If you don't move it, you're going to lose it. You need to be minimally stretching. You can do a lot of exercises and body strengthening with just your physical body. You don't need weights or anything like that. You can just use a wall or yeah. It's very important because you're going to have a lot of aches and pains in your future if you don't move your body now. And don't put your body under stress, and don't. So, things like contact sports are not healthy for your children at all. You can cause damage, you can cause death. But not only that, it causes long term issues. Yeah, of course they like it because it's adrenaline and whatever, but it's risky, absolutely, because it affects their joints, like football, their concussions and that sort of things. Why would you want to do that? I didn't want my son. I kept saying no, no, no. And of course, the father that abused us all, he convinced me and said, let him quit being so controlling, let him do it, and would laugh. And looking back at all of the abuse he did to us, I see now that was just another way to get me to allow my kids to destroy themselves. And that's how darkness works. Demons, the bad spirits, their goal is to cause as much pain and suffering as possible without eliminating them. They want us to eliminate ourselves. They don't want to do the dirty work. They want to watch us eliminate ourselves. That's what they want. So they want to spray Roundup on us and manipulate us and abuse us, and then watch as we slowly shrivel up and go and end. And so that's what they think. That's what they're thinking. So when you have men, fathers that are encouraging your children, that are abusing you, you need to realize that they're abusing you in other ways. When you have a man in your life that's abusing you and your children, and then they act all nice and try to encourage you to do something or don't do something, and they're being nice about it, and or trying to guilt you so that you comply with whatever it is that you're saying no about it, you need to realize that they've already proven that they're not caring about you and your children already by abusing you. So the question what they're encouraging you and your children to do, is it healthy or not? So we end up trusting what these people say because they act all nice and they gaslight us and mistreat us, so we never know what's going on. And I didn't realize the effect of what he was doing until recently, when God stepped in, cleansed me of all the stuff and showed me the truth. This is why I know all the things that I do. It's because God, actually, Jesus Christ, stepped in and saved me from all of the abuse. No, none of the other foster kids in my home or ever in the whole world have been through what I've been are like me, sober and able to express themselves this way. Why is that? Well, listen to me and I'll tell you why. It's because God and Jesus, I was like them. I was drinking straight alcohol in a glass, rock bottom, and it just wasn't in a paper bag because I was living in Mexico. And yeah. So what saved me was Jesus stepped in, and the ascended masters, which are the prophets. They're all my angels, and they like to be called the ascended masters. I don't know why, but that's what they call them. Sounds kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh, but that's what they want. I was going to say men, but there's actually genderless ones there too. That's kind of cool. Anyways, they're my angels. They're the ones that guide me to do everything, and I love you, and I'm grateful. Okay, let's put these back now. Oopsies. I like to clean as I go. This is a good habit to do because when you do this, you have less things weighing on you. If you don't do the dishes, then they're in the sink. It weighs on you. It makes you heavy. When you get home and everything's clean, have you ever done that? You come home and everything's spotless. Dishes are done, the floors, and it's just refreshing. When you come home and there's crap all over and dirty dishes, what happens is it makes you not want to be home. Like on the rock. So, yeah, we're in control of how much pain and suffering we have. And the more comfortable we are, the happier we are. The less stress we have, the happier and more relaxed we are. So our goal is to eliminate unnecessary stress, deal with our responsibilities, so that we can relax and not have a whole bunch of things on our shoulders waiting for us to do it. It causes stress. Okay, now I get to move to this section. So now I'm going to wrap this around once, tie it with the X. Or should it be braided on that side too? But it's this thick when I braid it. Okay, hold up. This is the thing about making things. Sometimes you are like a perfectionist. So I'm going to braid this a little bit. Out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. So when you French braid, that's just taking a bunch from the middle. So when you take a regular braid, you're taking all of the hair and dividing it into three. Like all of it. You're taking it all and dividing it into three. When you're French braiding, you're just taking some of the middle and leaving some on the sides. And you have three, and you're bringing one to the middle, but you're taking a little piece of the side and bringing it into the middle as well. And then you're going to take the one on the left and bring it to the middle, but you're going to grab a little piece on the outside and bring it to the middle. And then you're going to take a little piece on the left and then join it in the middle, and a little piece. So that's how you do a French braid. It's actually not that hard. You can do it, and it looks really cool. So I encourage everybody to use braids. It's a way of gathering your thoughts, and it's a time that you're supposed to be setting your intention, because it's like a satellite. It's like antenna. So what happens is when you're braiding it, you're setting your intention for the day, and that's how you set your intention for the day. You're supposed to be, oops. Let's see. Ooh, this looks nice. It really ups the bottle. Now I can charge $70. I'm just kidding. You can charge $70 a bottle because now it has a very nice sweetgrass braid or something. Not sweetgrass. It's actually raffia. That's a cool little thing. Oh. I wonder how I can do this. See, it looks like this now. You see how? So, yeah. So these are my sweetgrasses sprays. So, purifies your thoughts and everything. Maybe I'll just cut it there. Will it look funny? Or would it be better if I did this? That. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty. Look at that. It's a lot of work, but it looks really nice. And I can glue it. I have a glue gun, so I can glue that. I think that looks really pretty. So I'm going to do that with all of them, maybe. Maybe they'll be different. Who knows? Let's cut this off, and then I can glue it after. Ah, perfect. It looks a little weird right now. I'll make them all differently. Okay, there's 3. I only have 2 in there. There. So this is why I like having someone here with me. This is one of the reasons I go online a lot. I'm supposed to be sharing my whole life and stuff, but I go on lots because then I can talk to somebody as I do stuff. Because when I'm making stuff, I like to talk it out. It's much better if someone else is here, but whatever. Okay, I don't like that. So let's try it again. Braiding. It feels weird knowing that people are starting to look up to me and for praying, but now I have a cool book for it. And so now I'm going to pray for other people. But it's weird that people are looking up to me for this sort of stuff because I was like, I'm not religious. And it's wild. Imagine making up Monday and then you meet God and stuff and then he heals you and then all of a sudden you're working for God. Like, would you have ever predicted that? No. And who would want that? No one. Because we all know what everyone did to Jesus. So working on that team is risky. But I'm doing it. So these are powerful. I'm really powerful. This is one of the things that angels say. I have to be very careful with the things that I say and do, especially because not just with online and stuff, because with all of my followers, the more that someone likes you, the more that they want to copy you. So whatever I do, I'm influencing people, little children and everything. So everything, and then plus because I tell everybody that I get messages from God, I'm going to be under extreme scrutiny, which is one of the reasons why I had to tell the truth about everything that everyone's done to me in the past. It's because it's going to all come out because my life is very important because I work for God. So that means everyone deserves to know the truth about what made me the way that I am and what makes me a good leader and all this, because I have to win everybody over in order to reclaim our land. And if they don't trust me, then I'm not going to be able to lead all of humanity into salvation of pain and suffering, away from colonization and the patriarchy. So if I tell them all the things that I've experienced, then they know that I can relate to them. And by me telling everybody the truth about who abused me, because they're going to know anybody anyways. My whole life, as soon as I start blowing the whistle, everyone's going to know the people that I'm saying it about because they all know each other. So by me saying their names and publicizing it, just gets it's like ripping off the Band-Aid sooner. Because what happens if I just started telling people not the names of my abuse, but all of the abusers, then it drags it out because they're going to be upset that I'm identifying them but haven't said their name yet. So by me blasting the whole, it's like you've got a petri dish of infection. I could just put drops of liqueur in, or I could take a big syringe, inject it, and just go. And that's essentially what the truth is. So by me being completely truthful and saying the names and everything, it's coming in guns a-blazing, showing everybody that I'm no longer afraid of the people that abused me. And this is how you gain respect, because my whole life I was disrespected. They used me and abused me. That's taken away my power. If you want to come into your power, that means you have to take your power back from those that took from you in the first place before you can move on to the next level. You have to deal with the bullies, the little schoolyard bullies. So I have named my bullies and publicly and shown them that I am not afraid of them. They took advantage of me and my vulnerability because they knew I had no family, nothing. And that shows you what kind of people they are. They have no integrity, none at all. And they think they're superior to people of color. That's what they did to me, the Stony Valley and all the others. The racial things that came out of their mouth They never thought that I was ever going to escape and be able to tell anyone. Well, now I'm going to tell everyone. This is exactly who they are and what they say they are. And they're sworn affidavits for the father of my kids, showing what kind of a person he is and how he refers to his own son. And there are people that have failed lie detector tests, and they still didn't go to jail for the things that they've done, with endless testimonies against these people. So this shows you how the legal system does not favor vulnerable people, because it favors another certain demographic. So my goal is to teach everyone how to heal themselves like I was healed. It's lovely. It's gonna look so nice. So this is Jesus or God taking our land back. This is God taking our land back, using me and others, endless others. I don't know if there's anyone else that met God, but I know that there's lots that say they've met Jesus. But they don't have the same messages as me, which is really weird, because they don't have to wear white and stuff. But I'm not supposed to worry about anybody else, because there's a lot of people out there that are deceivers that are saying that they met Jesus so that they can take advantage of people, because they've studied and paid attention to other people that have that claim to get messages from Jesus and stuff. And so this is how darkness works. They study the truth and then lie about it to take advantage of others. We have to be very careful with those whom we follow. That's why what I teach is, don't follow me that way. You follow my TikTok, but don't follow the way that I act or the things that I say without thinking about it first and making sure it aligns with you, because we're ultimately responsible for the choices that we make. And so everyone on earth is human. So we have to remember that people will make mistakes. Your friends, your family. I know endless times where I've blindly trusted somebody and they got me into trouble, or did something mean to me, or someone mean to someone else. So you cannot blindly trust people. You have to know what they represent and what their purpose is for everything. What are you doing? Why? And if they have a problem with you asking why, then you shouldn't be with them, because you deserve. If you're going to be with them, associating with them, you need to know what team they're working for. Are they working for God, or are they working for the opposite team, pain and suffering? So, and that's why we invite all of the things like the sweetgrass. We thank it and say, thank you for working with me to do the work of Creator. So regarding forgiving people, that's one of the things that a lot of us have a really tough time with, is forgiving people, because a lot of the times people are malicious and really mean and hurtful. First of all, we need to know that there are many reasons why someone's going to be hurtful, and it's not always because that person is malicious. So there can be an instance. Okay, well, first of all, healthy people don't hurt people. So either way, that person is unhealthy. So it's like they're delirious. If you have a really high fever and then you act like that. Some people are just so sick they don't even realize what's going on. Then there's people that are malicious on purpose. And then there's also people that are malicious on purpose, but they've been deceived by someone and made to, they aren't able to express their emotions well because they've been so severely abused. So then a third party will trigger that person by saying something untruthful, getting that person to react at another innocent person. So that innocent person gets attacked by the person that has been lied and abused to, because they are a vulnerable person. They've been severely abused, so someone knows how to trigger them to get a reaction out of them, and that's how they manipulate people into harmful behaviors, and it ruins relationships. So this is called triangulation. This is a psychological term that is very, very common, especially in men. It's a narcissistic trait, is to triangulate, because what they're trying to do is destroy. A narcissist is someone that's trying to destroy another person, not just with physical, but it can be physical, emotional, for your body, financial, and to destroy you. They can also not just hurt you, they can sabotage your employment, they can sabotage or beat your children. And these are all ways that they attack us. So the Canadian government is also a narcissistic abuser. Changing history is gaslighting. Lying about it and minimizing about it is gaslighting. So we have a lot of people that are saying things like, "Oh, we conquered you. Oh, just get over it. And you guys were fighting before we even came," and that sort of thing. That's all gaslighting techniques related to colonization and the government. And it's enforced by the descendants of the colonizers. They're the ones that are here living off of the land, defending colonization, defending the destruction of the First Nations people, and defending the patriarchy, which is the enslavement also of women. But you can see that women are now rising up. We're not having it. We are sick and tired of men being narcissistic abusers. And so we are now starting to live together and separate from men, because they're harming us and our children at an alarming rate, and gaslighting us and saying not all men, but not helping us stay safe. And then maliciously separating from us from our safety. Like First Nations, I have nobody, or had nobody. I had nobody, because the government placed me into their ethnicity and didn't let me have my identifying information or ethnicity or anything. And why? Why would they do that? It's so that you cannot escape. That's the purpose of it. They seal your record so you can't escape colonization and the foster care system. It's full enslavement. That's the only reason. They say it's for to protect the parents. No, it's for privacy. No, it's to enslave the child so that they cannot escape. And then and it slowly destroys our spirit. So there's no benefit to sealing the record to anyone except for anyone that's trying to abuse and use that child. So sealing a record is abuse, and the Canadian government did it. It's a way of silencing us and not letting us escape. And it's still going on today. Pretty rude, huh? And then people want me to go vote because I don't like this, or because there's no water, or because I want my birth certificate. Excuse me, I waited 53 years and nothing has happened. So there's no wheeling and dealing. I want it and I want it now. You took it many years ago. I shouldn't have to wait for it, and I'm not going to wait for it that long. So the best way to deal with a bully that does this is to no longer participate with them, no longer play with them. They can't play nice. They're abusive, they're mean, they're cruel. So why are we even engaging with the Canadian government? And I put it in quotes because it's an imaginary thing. It's just an imaginary thing. Not even real. So I don't know what's going to happen because I know I'm very vocal about this. I have no idea what's going to happen. But this is what we need someone. You can't get change if everything stays the same and if it's full of cowards. So we need someone that's going to speak up and tell the truth. I'm here for everybody, not just First Nations. I'm here for all the vulnerable. I'm here for all of the men as well as the women because I want you all healthy. I want you all healthy so then we all get healthy. So of course I want the sick people healthy. The sooner they get healthy, the less of negative impact they're going to have on humanity. So we need to take control and quit sugarcoating everything and just tell the truth. And use psychology on the abusers. They don't like it when you state that they're a narcissistic abuser and identify what tactics they're using. They don't like that at all. So do that. Whenever you see an abuser, you go and you tell them that you define what they are, their behavior in psychological terms, so that they can understand their own behavior and then say thank you for volunteering, because then they've volunteered their own time to engage with you to be the center of attention, but for negative behavior, because you also state the cause of it. You explain that narcissistic abusers come from relationships where their mothers did not care for them or neglected them. And it's the truth. And what that does is they read that and they go, oh, and then it shuts them down because they know it's true. So the truth is what is going to save humanity. Silence means that we're not telling the truth. We're hiding it. We're masking it. That's why they want those in power want us to be silent. So we cannot be silent. Silence is what empowers darkness. So we speak out about all the abuses. Oops. I'm really excited about how this is going to look. Making stuff is fun. So I don't know how your day was today, but I hope it was good. Remember that nothing is meant to destroy you or make you unhappy. Everything is just natural. You don't see ants getting upset because, whatever, it starts to rain and drowns out their anthill. You don't see bears getting all depressed and stuff. The only time they get depressed is when they're enslaved. And so that right there speaks volumes. We're enslaved. And the only time they get sick is if they're if they're being poisoned. So we're also very sick humans. Sooner that we acknowledge the truth, the sooner we can move past it and heal. That's the thing. We have to admit the truth in order for us to move forward. If we're denying it, we're never going to move forward. So it's very, very important to be talking about the truth about colonization, the patriarchy, and everything. And of course, you're going to have opposition, because no matter what you do, the good guys are bringing the bad ones down, the bad ones are bringing the good ones down. So if you're working for Creator, you're going to have haters. So just accept it and don't take it personally, but start speaking truth. Because the sooner you do, the sooner we find our allies as well. The sooner that we start talking about it, the sooner that we're going to find our tribe. We're not finding our tribe because no one's going against the darkness, not vocally and not keeping repeated. We have to. I'm in Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada. It is very dark up here. There are lots of negative people, not very many spiritual, and very racist people. Absolutely. They don't stand up for each other. Lots of anonymous people on groups online in Fort McMurray that are malicious to other people. Even like in politics groups, it's really disgusting. These people want to have leadership roles and they're disrespectful, dishonorable, no integrity. They're just very childish. And it's frustrating because there's nothing First Nations there. And this is First Nation land. And where are all the First Nations people? They're trying to survive or they're in full addiction and trauma. And we aren't healthy enough to rule our own land. And look what's happening. It's frustrating. Am I saying other foreigners shouldn't be running our land? Yes. Yes. I'm saying foreigners should not be running our land. You can't just come into someone's house and take over. No, they shouldn't, especially because of their behavior. If this was school, what's it called, politics or whatever, where you had to get the class president and stuff, and they were just doing all this destruction, do you think the teacher would allow this person to stay class president all the time? No. They'd say, get out of here and let's get a new person in. But no, we've got leadership that's destroying all of these different people, different groups. They're destroying the land, everything, the water, and keeping my identifying information from me. So I got a personal agenda, or whatever you want to call it, that I'm not happy and I ain't going away. And so I'm fighting the fight. So when people are like, and then when I do that, it's really irritating because you got the people that are like, oh yeah, well you already got all these free stuff, and I'm like, no, I was living with your ancestors for all my life, and they sealed my records, so no, I didn't get any free money. If you gave me the free money, then maybe I'd shut it. But you didn't give me free money, and so I'm just gonna sit here and keep letting everyone know that Canada's a jerk and what they did to me. Because they didn't give me anything good. And so you guys are just liars as well. You're just the descendants saying more lies about me because I didn't get free water. I didn't get free, nothing. I want to live on my land with my own ethnicity for the first time in my life. Everyone else gets to live in the home with their mom and dad, their own ethnicity. I don't get to. Why is that? Because the Canadian government took me away. And I can't live on the land still because I have to have a Indian number and then a treaty number and then go on the list to get a house on the reserve. And so do you think that I can get the card soon? No, because my identifying information is still sealed. So the Canadian government is still withholding my identifying information. So to tell me to go and vote or to tell other First Nations people to vote when we're all going through crap like this, we don't want to vote. We want them out of office or whatever. We want them out of the teepee. Get the F out of the teepee. So I'm going to use my personal power for the entirety of my life to draw attention to the injustices of First Nations people, my people, as well as the things that I've had to endure myself, all of my firsthand experiences, and the foster children and all of everyone vulnerable, because this whole system is rigged to benefit a certain group and at the expense of the rest of us. And if someone doesn't stand up, no one will. And just talking about it is not standing up. You have to be courageous. So here I am. So you're welcome. And I also am just finally embracing it. I didn't want to do this because like I said, I know what they did to Jesus. I don't want that happening. I've had enough crap up until this point in my life. I do not need more dramas. But apparently this is my calling and what I came here for, and I didn't make it this far to give up now. Which is exciting. And this is the thing. I'm White Buffalo Catherine. And also, this is the prophecy of the North and the South hemispheres. And this is, what was I going to say? Oh, like this is already, like if you think of a Petri dish with infection, and the infection is going and going, and then all of a sudden I come here and I'm the medicine, and I'm injected right in there, and I'm not going to let them break me down. I'm too strong, and now I'm just gathering others as I stay strong to join in and choose health. And the more people that join in and choose health and sobriety, the more powerful we get. So if you think of a Petri dish and it was at its maximum, so now I'm injected in. So we've already passed the big, because now they're already weakened. My presence has already weakened all of the darkness because I got a big splash of God. So that's how it works. So anything that is happening now, if it feels like it's bigger than it was, it's not, because the Petri dish isn't having more darkness. But whatever darkness is already existing is gonna come to the surface. So it's already there. It's just now they're gonna go, "You're a jerk," and do that. We're not going down without a fight. Some of them will go down without a fight. Some of them won't, the most stubborn ones. So we have to be prepared, because we're taking our land back, literally. We're taking our land back. So you have to be prepared for others that are going to try everything in their power to diminish us, to get us off track, to buy them more time. They're going to lie, deceive us, try to, everything you can imagine. So do not fall for their tricks. So Muslims don't celebrate Christmas. Oops. And so neither do I anymore, because after I found out what colonization did, I was like, wow, Christianity. So Jesus Christ was not a Christian and is not a Christian. Christians like to say that Jesus Christ is a Christian. He's not. He is a free agent, meaning he didn't agree with religion, and he spoke to not join any religions. He was against it. And I also get messages like the other prophets did. So I know how the messages work, and I understand how people, the men, have put twists on the messages to favor themselves. That's what happened. Because we get messages and then we get to add whatever we want if we don't have integrity. So when you get to be a prophet, it's God's gift of, we're supposed to be doing his work and using integrity and honor to make sure that everyone's treated equally and it ends pain and suffering. But a lot of the times when these prophets get the messages, they're still human, just like I am, so they'll twist it. And that's why we've got prophets with different messages. Not all of them had integrity. So just like you had the fallen angel, you have the fallen humans. This is why they worked with me and made sure that I have integrity and honor, and because when you get cleansed, that's power, because they're guiding you to coming back into your power. You're no longer going to be drinking alcohol and falling for all, and you get gifted all of the information about psychology, so you understand how everything works and what these bad ones are doing. And so when you understand all this is power. You become a threat to darkness. So if I have all this power and I don't have integrity, I could use it for bad. And I don't want to do that. And so the way that I'm going to do it differently than all the other prophets is that I want to join forces with those that align with me so we create a world together. So I share the messages of Christ and whatever, and we all work together to create our reality. I don't want everyone thinking that I'm powerful and stuff. I want everyone to realize that they play a part in this as well. So this is a team effort, and that's what I'm going to be doing different than all of the men that are prophets. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I think it's a great idea because then it also takes off all of the pressure on me. Thank you. So that's the goal, though, is that we all work together, and then I don't have to have all the pressure of making the decisions. We all get to work together. And so just because I say that, not everyone's going to have access to me. I'm only going to be letting those selected that I trust coming close to me, but still on public things like this, we can all work together to decide what the future is going to hold. Because we have to work together to make the world a better place. You can't just rely on a couple of people. We have to work together. And working and making the world a better place means that we have to revamp everything, the legal system, the housing system, the education system, because it's all corrupted here. It's all causing pain and suffering. And so we have to work together. So if we all are working together, we can take the beautiful parts of each culture and each human and make the best possible world. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be creating a world that is beautiful, working together instead of apart and competing. When we all work together, we live in harmony. We have to get rid of the sickness of the ego, of competition and superiority. Otherwise, we're never going to get there. And so we cannot get there with people that think like that. So if we have people that think like that and are causing harm and they're not repenting and they're not going to make amends for the things that they've done, then they can't be here. This is the thing. We have to police ourselves and distance these people because they're harmful. They're an infection to the way that we're supposed to be. They're an infection to human design. They're a sexually transmitted disease. So the goal, look at that. These are just lovely. I love the raffia. Almost done. Today's Sunday. I have to get up for. So I talked to the preacher today. He let me, and I literally talked to the preacher today. He didn't get a word in edgewise. He just sat there and listened to me. He was smiling the whole time. So I think he was digging it instead of not digging it. And he seemed interested in my story. I told him about my experiences and stuff, and he was smiling. So some preachers, they don't like me when they find out that I met Jesus and God. They get immediately attacking and question if I know the Bible. They're always the go-to. Well, do you know the Bible? What does that do? Only people that know the Bible get to meet Jesus and God? Okay. That's the whole thing. It's arrogance. Arrogance. Not everyone's like that, but those ones that are arrogant, and it's because they're not working for God. We're not supposed to judge others. We're supposed to just trust them, which is trust them, but don't let them get close to us to hurt us. Because the thing is, the deceivers, the demons, the bad ones, they are going to tell us lies to prevent us from getting into salvation. They want to cause as much pain and suffering, the negative energies, so they're going to lie to us and get us to not be aligned with Jesus. That's the thing. The fake ones will fake it. Keep looking back at the time. I switched it. I'm getting tired. It was a long day today. Emotional, I guess you could say. You're welcome. Hey, I would love to connect and listen again. Hey, thank you. You are most welcome. My messages are for everybody. I'm here to teach everyone to come into their power and take their lives back. Because when people are mean, they're taking away your power. When you're enslaved, they're taking away your power. So when they disrespect you, they're taking away your power. And you don't get your power back unless you take it back by getting your disrespect back. You have to strike back to take back the power. That's what you don't realize. We aren't taught this because they want us to lose our power. And then when we are deceased and we haven't reclaimed our power is still with the other person. So we're energetic beings, literally energy. So people will come to us and attack us to steal our life force energy and then keep us silent to seal the energy transfer. So then we're depleted of energy. So we're feeling depressed and everything because people have stolen our life force energy. Our life force energy is what gives us our will to live. So if we don't have that, then that means that we've been used and abused and someone has taken our power. So if you want to take your power back, you need to learn self-respect and take your power back. You need to connect with the people. Well, you don't even have to connect with them. You just have to say the things that they've done and start healing. The voice is the healing connection. Everything starts with the mind. You first have to think it, and then you speak it or act it into action. So do not underestimate. This is the thing. You want to come into your power, you need to master all of this. Because if you don't know how to control your car, you're going to be crashing into everything and you're not going to be maximizing the speed or anything. So that's the same with our body. If we don't know how to work it, then we're just wasting our human body because we could master it and then it's going to be easier to navigate the life with our body because we know how to use it. So we have a body, a mind, and a spirit, and we're not taught how to maximize that potential. How we master our spiritual body is with our mind. It's remote controlled with our mind. Our physical body is remote controlled with our mind because we have to think about it and get our hand to do whatever. And then eventually we become in sync. Once the trust is there, we become in sync and we don't even have to think anymore, much like the birds or the fish that all swim together. So our body, mind, and spirit reacts like that. If it's all in sync and they're all healthy, then they all work together. When the body starts depleting, it doesn't work so smooth. You start running and you trip and fall. It's because you're not in sync. So if that happens a lot, that means you need to check what's going on with your body, mind, and spirit and figure out why they're not in sync. So when humans start being trustworthy and we find the right people, we can start living in synchronicity smoothly without any problems. And that's when we're healthy. When we're healthy, we live in trust and we're trustworthy people and we help each other, and naturally we just fit in and everyone takes their natural God-gifted position, because we all have assets and disadvantages. We all have talents and things that we're not good at. So when you are working in a community, when you're living together, it's necessary for you to know your strengths and your weaknesses so that the group can take advantage of the benefits of each other. So then it helps run the community smoother. We all are good at different things. We all serve some sort of benefit. So even if you feel lost, you just haven't found it yet. You just haven't found it yet. So the goal is to find what your purpose is, and we also have universal purposes and personal purposes. So a universal purpose means that we all have the same purpose, and then the personal purpose is one that you have that everyone else doesn't have. So an example of our universal purposes is that we're here to experience life and be healthy. So that means we have to get healthy. We have to overcome any sicknesses. We're all here to overcome all sicknesses. We're in a sickness because we're harming ourselves and each other. And so all of us, our purpose here is to heal. That's it. We are here to heal. So if we're not healing, we're very, very sick. And because we heal as a community, that's why it's necessary for us to work on ourselves first, because we are creatures of influence. One of us does it, and then someone's going to copy it. They are going to get influenced by it. So the ones that are sick want us all to be sick. They're trying to turn us sick by poisoning us and saying bad things to us and guilting us and shaming us. They want us to give up and turn out the light of healing. So their goal is to keep it as dark and sick as possible. So people working for God are working for the opposite. They're trying to bring healing, and they're bringing healing now. How? By doing the work themselves and providing unconditional love and seeds of consciousness. Seeds of consciousness meaning that they are telling the truth, because when you tell the truth, it plants a seed in their mind, and when the time is right, they'll believe the truth. So if someone's severely abused and you say you're loved and you're wanted and you didn't deserve all of that, they don't believe it, but you saying it is planting a seed, and when that person is ready, then that seed will germinate and they will remember that they're loved and wanted and they did not deserve that. And then that will start healing them. So the words that we say have the ability to heal the spirit. The world was created by the word. The word was spoken, let there be light, and then there was light. So our power of our voice is very, very powerful. We have the ability to destroy illusions. We have the ability to reclaim our power. That's why our abusers want us silent, because it's a sealing of the power that they don't want us having. That's their biggest fear. You think that your abusers aren't crapping bricks right now? The more that time goes by, they are dreading. They want you sick. They want you unhappy. They want you miserable, and they want you fat and lazy and unmotivated, so that the chance of you telling everybody what they did is none. And so that they can say, oh, she's just crazy. That's what they're going to say. They're hoping that you're going to turn to alcohol and drugs so they can say, yeah, this is just an addict and whatever. So the more you realize that the haters are going to do that, the more you're going to choose sobriety. And you need to realize that the system wants all of the people that are good addicted and homeless so that their voice is silenced. Your voice becomes more powerful when you're sober. So it's nothing to do with judging. Never. We don't judge. There's no point in judging. We know what it's like. It doesn't serve any good. We're just telling you the truth. We need to take our land back, and in order for us to take our land back, we need sober people, because our power source isn't as strong. The alcohol takes our drugs. The alcohol takes our body and gives it to the darkness, the negative spirits. You're now working for them instead of God. So if you're on Team God, you need to act like it. You need to act like it. What do you guys, are you celebrating Christmas? I probably won't be able to see my children or my grandchild because I've been blocked, and this is what they do because I told the truth. So what's the point? What is the point? It's weird because everyone celebrates Christmas and they don't even know what the Christmas even means, and they don't recognize Jesus Christ. It's all about consumerism. It's all about drinking alcohol and eating unhealthy food. And, it has nothing to do with Jesus and the purpose that they claim it is. So, I think these are looking lovely. I think this one was too short, but I'll figure it out. I wonder if there's a way I could make like a little heart out of this. I could tie it and put it on there too. But I think this looks good. Oh, this looks good with the sweetgrass braid. I mean, the raffia braid. So, I have no idea what tomorrow holds. Oh, I have these too. These are pony beads. I was going to, I could have done that. Darn it. I could have done the braid and then put a couple beads in and then ended it. I mean, I could still do that. Decisions. So I got these stickers and it says voice activated and it has a wave. I thought that was funny. I bought them. And yeah, I have 3 more. I should do them. But I'm getting tired. It's almost 11. Oh. I don't know if you guys are working tomorrow or not. I'm helping a lady do her move out clean, the lady across the way. I'm going to help her clean her apartment. So, not my favorite thing. I don't like cleaning. I hate it. But I do like to help others when they need it. And yeah, I'm never ending being kind to others. But we have to be careful that when we're being kind to others, we're not being taken advantage of. Remember that when someone asks for your help, they should offer something in return, because if people come to you always wanting something and they never give you anything in return, then you get depleted. So it's your job as a person, when you're asking someone, you offer something in exchange for it. That's what you're supposed to do, especially when you're asking for help. So, and a lot of people, they will say you don't need to give anything, but it's still kind to offer something of equal value so that you don't use that person. I got these little mini compass, and they actually work. Like, they're smaller than a dime. I was thinking it'd be a cool gift for my warrior training. Because warrior training, it teaches you how to come into your power, and it gets you to know where you're going. And a compass is about knowing where you came from and where you're going to return. So, anyways, it's I just want to remind you, that you're in control of your reality and do not take anything personal. Practice being in control of your emotions and observing. You don't have to let the anger rile up. You can let it rile up, but don't express anything out, and observe. Because when you are able to be in volatile situations and you're able to maintain your energy and observe, you become extremely powerful because then all of that energy is in you. You haven't directed it. So when you leave the situation, you still have the energy, because it's like a balloon full of air. If you yell at somebody, then it deflates it. But if you maintain it and you seal it, it's still inside you, and now you can direct it at something productive. And that's the goal. It's to stop being destructive, and it's to start being productive. And so one of the parts of spirituality is understanding that you cannot problem solve if you can't think, if you're distracted. So if I'm trying to do a math equation and I'm trying to memorize a song that someone's singing at the exact same time, I can't do it, because my energy is divided on two different things that I'm focused on. So your best chance of remembering both is to focus on one and then focus on another completely. So when you're watching endless TV shows, it's a distraction. You can't think of anything else because your mind is completely engrossed in something else. So, social media can also be very detrimental to your mental health, because if you don't use it, you lose it. And so just sitting there watching mindless shows, yes, you are getting a little bit of new information, but it's not valuable when it's TV series, unless it's a documentary. It's just mindless trash. You're wasting your potential. So meditation is something that everyone's repelled by it. Why? Because it takes away all of your distractions and gives you all of your energy where you can focus on something. And if you don't have anything to focus on, you're going to focus on all of the things that you've experienced that are in your mind, all of the running programs in your mind, anything that you haven't dealt with and it's still in your energetic field. So any unresolved traumas, when you let go of all the distractions, you're now thinking about this, and it makes us uncomfortable. So then that's when we go watch TV or go back to work or go shopping or whatever. These are all ways to escape dealing with what you're dealing with. So that's what self-reflection is. Self-reflection is taking the time to think about your experiences and how you've impacted others and they've impacted you. That's what self-reflection is. You cannot do that if you're constantly being distracted with TV or music or sports. So meditation is a way of just saying that you're letting go of distractions so that you can self-reflect. And self-reflection is necessary in order for us to remove unnecessary pain and suffering, because we have guilt and shame from things that have been done to us and that we've done, and we're not thinking about it. But if we think about it, we can process it and make amends and eliminate the guilt and think about, because a lot of times things happen as a child and it affects us negatively, and then we never think of it again. But then when we finally think about it on our own, we don't even need a therapist. Sometimes when we think about it, we think about things that we've learned since the incident that we haven't been thinking about. And now that so much time has passed, we realize that what was happened to us was wrong, and we don't need to feel bad about it. And we don't have to see anybody, because we've matured and we know that, but we just haven't dealt with the issue that we'd experienced. So it's still in our energetic fields. So even though we had the tools to process it and let it go, it was still in there bugging us, because we didn't have the courage to look at what was making us uncomfortable at the time to be able to dissect it and let it go. When you understand this is how, healing works, it makes it easier to heal, because you understand that we're avoiding our emotions because it makes us uncomfortable. Our emotions are energy in motion, emotion. And that energy we're an energetic body and a physical body and a mind. And when we have lots of trauma, we have lots of emotions, lots of energy. And when we aren't allowed to cry or talk about it, that means inside we have a big balloon full of air, but that air is the energy of the unhealed trauma that's been building up with pressure, because we haven't been able to cry or talk about it or process it. So when we finally do get triggered, That's when we blast somebody. If someone triggers us and we don't know how to control our emotions, that's when we cause lots of damage, and we might even punch a wall, and then we get in trouble because someone's being malicious and they know that we've been traumatized and we have triggers, and they go he, and they do something to get us to blow up in front of everybody, and the person that blew up doesn't even know, they don't understand how, they just knew that person did something to piss them off and they exploded, and everyone blames them for exploding, but not knowing that the other person did it. So a lot of, when we don't have the knowledge or ability to self-reflect or express our emotions in a healthy way, we're easily manipulated by narcissistic abusers that are looking for a target that doesn't know how to express their emotions, looking for someone to trigger so they blow up. There are people out there just looking for somebody to blow up. It's sad, but it is very true. Talk about it, process it. I'm here for you. Oh, thank you. So, yeah, so we need to understand how toxic abusers work. They're looking for somebody. They're looking for the weakest link. And then if we don't know how to control our emotions, someone comes and does that, we end up in jail because someone got us mad and we responded and punched somebody out. So we don't want that. We need to be in control of our emotions so that we can be in power. We take our power back when we control our emotions, when we control our thoughts. So it's necessary for us to control our thoughts and emotions in order to come into our power. It's necessary. So the sooner that you start practicing it, the better. So that means that you have the right to be angry and upset, but you don't have to explode at anybody. You can feel the heartbeat and racing inside of you, but you can not respond because you have to pick and choose your battles. When you start healing, you're no longer in the petri dish of infection and infected. You're in the petri dish and you're now the cure. So the infection, everyone that's infected is now going to be trying to get rid of the health in you. They're trying to eliminate the light in you because they want the dark in. So when you understand that they don't see you as a human, they see you as, because they're infected. So they see you as a light that's turning the light on and it's too bright. So they're trying to turn off your light and they're going to use every means necessary. And they're going to gaslight you and use you and insult you. And so these might even be your family members. You need to remember it's not personal. They're going to make it personal because they're going to try to get you to bite. It's not personal. This will happen in the workplace. This will happen in your home. This will happen out in the public. And you have to learn to take the high road and not add any fuel to their poisonous fire. Because when you bite and you insult them or degrade them or, just lower yourself to your level, they're happy. They won because you now switched to the team of darkness. We have to take the higher road. And I know it seems like it's not fair, but this is how we take our world back, is with self-control. They don't have any self-control. That's why they lose their temper. They get, we just have to ignore them. I don't know how much I sell these for. So I got I'm trying to make money by selling stuff on the internet to pay for my rent and stuff because I'm not making enough money yet. Got to accent my income. So I thought these would be good because it's healing stuff. Sweetgrass spray. Anything that gets rid of negative energy is good. So I told the pastor that today too. I said, every religion has good points and bad points, and every human has good points and bad points. And it's not up to us to judge. We're not here to judge anybody on the things that they've done. And just like and so I said that we're allowed to smudge as long as we're using it with a purpose of healing, then we're doing it for good purpose, so it's not demonic. And just like a person that's black might do smudging also and burns a plant to get rid of negative energies, that's not demonic. But there's bad people that will then use the smudge and have a bad intention. Those people are bad people. But are all the people that burn things in Africa bad? No. And are all the people that are native that burn things bad? No. But are there bad people that burn smudge? Yes. So this is important because this is a Christian pastor that invited me to the thing, and now, and I said, why? And then they said, well, we like having you. And so then I said, fine, because then I realized, wow, I can talk to the street people and give them messages and stuff. But now today I realize that I also can talk to these pastors and open their mind a bit and let them realize that the things, oh, that's another thing. So at the Center of Hope, there were about maybe 15 people in total for the homeless people church service. And there was a table of native indigenous people, and there were also other indigenous people that were religious, I guess. They're Christians or something. But the one table was saying, Mother Earth, Mother Earth. And then the other native was like, no, it's disrespectful to Jesus. It's only one God. We only serve one God. And I was watching as this happened, and I didn't get involved because I was more observing. I don't have to get involved every time, but I can learn something from everything. And it's important because I need to understand their mindset and where their belief systems lie. Because when you're in addiction, it's a mental affliction. You've got mental issues that are causing you to be unhealthy, and then you're choosing alcohol. So when they talk about their relationship with Jesus and what they believe in, it helps you understand their method of thinking so that you can help them better. And this is what love is. Real love is understanding what the other person has been through so that you can love them properly. People don't even know what love is anymore. Love is unconditional, literally unconditional. It means that no matter what you do, nothing's going to change the way that someone loves you. There's nothing you can do in the past, present, or future that's going to change that person's love for you. They're going to love you the same no matter what. That's what my love for my children and you are. That's what the love for our Father for us is. He loves us no matter what. And humans, we don't know that. We force them to be what we want them to be, or we don't love them anymore. And we kick them out or we block them. And that's manipulative, and that's not love. It's not love at all. And to say that you love somebody and to do that is a lie. And this is happening all over. We don't love those that we abandon. So what happened to me, see, my children, I was manipulated, the father of my kids, because of my upbringing. I was very sensitive and easy to manipulate. So he taught me that my kids didn't love me and taught them to disrespect me and maliciously ruined my relationships with my children. And because the more that people are mean to you, it's human nature to distance yourself from them. And so even though they're my children, because I was so broken, I distanced myself from them. And the father of them told me to leave them alone, to not go in their room, to not phone them, to not message them. and he groomed me to believe the kids didn't want me, didn't love me, and groomed me to not reach out to them, which severed my relationship. And I didn't realize what was going on until God and Jesus and the Ascended Master stepped in and showed me what went on, because I was miserable. I didn't understand how I even ended up with no kids. I get born into slavery with white people, and then have forced to be having kids with all these people that are horrible, enslaving and abusing me and my children. And then my children side with them, and I don't even, no one talks to me. Imagine, there's so much more to this. And this just, you need to realize there are very bad people out there, and the number one victims are women and children. So that means if I'm experiencing all this, there are many people that are experiencing it, and they don't even realize, because they manipulate us and gaslight us into believing that we're to blame, that we've done something, that we are the cause of all of the problems. And that's what they go and tell everybody too. Oh yeah, she's crazy, and she's not a good mother, and she left the kids. But he doesn't tell everybody that he pushed me away, because it's human nature. If you are assimilated and segregated, have no one being nice to you, and you're enslaved into that thing, then you can't escape. And I couldn't. But as soon as he broke up with me, it gave me an out. Where am I going to go? I have no family. So he's the one that suggested that I move far away, and because I had no family, and he told me the other kids didn't love me, I said sure, because he gave me not one but two different signed child custody affidavits saying you have full custody and you can do whatever you want, travel where, and he's the one that said travel wherever you want. I was like, fine, why wouldn't I? Had no idea that back in Canada, the whole time he was telling everyone that I'm a horrible mom, that I abandoned my children, everything. So do you see how he manipulates things and then tells everybody a different story? But the cool thing is, the things that he lied about aren't true. I wrote 3 books. I have 2 websites. I am a good person, and he has a history of being racist. And the kids know he's abused us and everything. So all of these lies now are coming out in the open, because God and Jesus, the Ascended Masters, got me to be brave enough to speak out about all the injustices that not even all, just some. And that the truth has shifted his illusion and crumbled the image that he's created for himself, a fake image. And people that didn't like me because of the things that he said about me are now seeing the truth, that he's a liar and deceiver, and he's, just a really poopy person. So I don't know where I was going with that. Anyways, I got them all wrapped. I just got to cut them and glue the bottoms and figure out. I was thinking maybe a charm on there, but I could put these on, but it's kind of plastic. It's indigenous because it's pony beads, but they're plastic, so I don't really like that. But maybe that's enough because it's crystals and that. I don't know. Thank you for being with me as I put these together. Sorry if I missed any of your messages. I like to talk, as you tell. Everyone always says that. Well, not everybody. Lots of people say, wow, you talk a lot. I do. I have a lot to say. And I'm excited to see where I'm going to be headed, because I noticed that I'm getting more braver talking around adults, and I'm getting more well known, where everyone's waving and stuff and knowing me. And I'm really honored. I'm really honored to be able to do God's work and be able to help people. I'm really lucky. This is like the best job ever. Anyways, you can be the same job too. Just have to switch teams to creator if you're working for the bad team. Oh my goodness, I've been on for over 2 hours. It's almost 11. Okay. I love you so much. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.